Good evening, campers. We have a story before we get into Hello Friend, We Missed You by Richard Owain Roberts, who won the Guardian Prizes, not the Booker Prize. I first heard about this book because it won the not the Booker Prize, but predominantly what caught my eye is that Richard Owain Roberts, and the middle name should give it away, he's a Welsh author. I don't see many Welsh authors win prizes, so instantly my sights were, oh, interested. Though I was aware of this book, I've never gone out, bought it and read it. So I was quite surprised after doing a year of book reviews that I get a message and I recognised the name. And it was Richard saying, "Hi, I've watched your channel. I'm aware how painfully honest and truthful you are. Can I send you my book?" I said I was more than happy to review the book. However, if I don't like it, I'm going to say that. And he responded something, I'll put the actual message here, but something along the lines of, "That's kind of why I'm interested." So here I am. Now, for complete transparency, I've worked with Parthian before, and I did say to Richard, I know someone from Parthian, I'll ask them to send me the book rather than him, out of his own money, send me his book. So this has come from the publisher, not direct from Richard himself. Hello Friend, We Missed You was not the book that I was expecting, and I think due to the time that this came out, had it been a year on later, this really would be classified as the internet novel. One of the books that has come out alongside Lauren Euler's Fake Accounts. It fits this bill of people online trying to interact with the world but are really digiting rather than with the meat space, with the cyberspace. Our main character Hill has a symbiotic relationship to technology. Hey, don't we all? And we see him interact with his phone multiple times, opening apps, closing apps, opening a certain game, closing it, opening up another game, playing it for a bit, closing it, opening it back up, having a look on the internet. He's going to write an email, ends up drafting, saves the draft, opens his inbox again, starts another draft, realizes that he started a few days ago a draft that really doesn't say anything, but it's just saved as a draft in his phone. He goes through people's Facebook pages to find out a bit more, but rather than say that it's a photo from Tenerife on this girl's Facebook page, Roberts actually describes it as photo 419 of 834. This should give you some idea of how technology is articulated and discussed within this novel, and the deadpan attitude that simmers throughout. We're going to spend all of our time within Hill's head, and I say that with purpose because Hill does not do a lot of talking, he does a lot of thinking, he does a lot of overthinking actually, and we're going to see how he deals with two relationships, with Trudy and Roger. Roger is actually Hill's father, but Hill refuses to call him father. Why? Well, Hill's mum committed suicide, and since that moment there has been a separation. There has been a wanted to push Roger away from the father figure. We don't actually hear anything from Roger and how he feels because he's ill, he needs ailment. The only thing that we do hear from him are his convulsive coughing fits, and this is where Trudy comes in. Trudy is a PhD student who is his carer, is looking to earn a little bit of cash on the side, and Hill is interacting with these two people. Within Roberts' story, there's a lot of miscommunication. In fact, the title, Hello Friend, We Missed You, comes from a pizza that is delivered to Hill, and that's the message that is inscribed within the box, but it goes to the wrong house. To reiterate, this is classic deadpan miscommunication, and we see these characters struggle with their social skills while they are constantly enhancing their social media skills. So much so that we're going to go to a house party and slowly realise that more people are interested speaking to people via their phones than the people who are currently there. Well, you might be sitting there going, Kira, this doesn't seem like anything new. Roberts is really subverting the pastoral, the small town. This is based in Ynys Môn in Wales, which is right at the top. It's very sparsely populated. I can imagine you could think of many rural settings where everyone seems to know what everyone is doing. That gossip, that intimacy, the fact that everyone understands people's relationship, that's what pushes the story on. We even see this in soap operas. What pushes these stories are people are constantly on top of each other. They're in and out of people's lives. Robert is juxtaposing this because everyone knows each other through their social media. They don't know each other personally. They don't even know how to interact with each other when they see each other face to face. With everything online, a personal connection is really difficult to maintain. Hill is trying to gain a personal relationship and keeps boasting that Jack Black, the famous American author, has optioned one of his films, but we see Hill unable to send emails to Jack Black's assistant trying to get it on, trying to push the product so that it becomes greenlit. And what is the project, you ask? Well, it's a fake podcast that doesn't exist. Again, a podcast is people speaking intimately, people who have personal connections and interests, but this is fake. It really epitomizes this book. Hill is constantly holding on to this laurel because it's the only thing that's interesting about him. But to other people, when he meets an old school friend, he's just Hill from school. That's all he's known for. That's just what he is. Roberts has a very pared down, sparse style. Think Bret Easton Ellis's Less Than Zero. It's very much the bare bones that you are given. However, I am going to crudely move this to another Ellis book, American Psycho. Robert lists technology and the engagement of it in a way at times that is so detracting, so monotonous. And I understand why, because I think we use our phones in a very monotonous way. But the balance was never there for me. It didn't strike a chord, it just had dissonance to it. I want to emphasize that that comparison is crude. Please take that with a pinch of salt. I appreciate the subversion and almost the reformatting and the updating of a rural novel. I felt like you do when you go to these quaint little towns. You think, oh, this is great. And then you spend a few hours there and you realise, oh, this is it. There's not much here. And I felt the halfway point hit. And moving into the next quarter, I felt as though I might have needed a day break. However, the last few pages of Hill and Roger are nice. They're not great, they're nice. The deadpan writing does have a rhythm to it, but you can almost see at times where the punches are going to fall. And again, with anything that is humorous, you're either going to like it or not. Humour is very subjective. For me, I would rather leave Ynys and head to the city. Therefore, I'm going to cruise in the middle lane on the motorway until someone beeps a horn at me. This is a 5 out of 10.